Welcome back. We have the SGX Nifty, which is down about 85 points. So brace yourself for a big decline. Also because, yesterday it looked like the market had bottomed out. Yesterday in last hour, there was a big move, especially on the bank Nifty. So that rally is at risk right now. Gurmeet Chadha is joining us, co-founder and CEO at Complete Circle Consultants. Gurmeet, good morning. I wanted your thoughts first on the Adani Group stocks. Even yesterday, Adani Enterprises was up another 10% on top of the 10% move that we saw on Monday. Oh, what's happening here? The group market cap is now 7 lakh crores, of course. But would you buy any of the stocks at current price?
Good morning, Anuj. I mean, clearly gravity-defying move and miss at our end for most of us probably. I think one stock which I continue to like and track is Adani Port. I think they are transforming from a plain port services to a integrated logistics player. They have done acquisitions which have been value accretive. So it was Krishnapatnam, and yesterday we saw the news on the Gangavaram port where after Vapak, because they are acquiring additional stake. And also, we are seeing global trends of this, the upsizing of the containers and vessels. And I think Adani is the only one which is capable of handling that with its deep drafts. So I think that to me looks a more structural play. The debt EBITDA is still at about probably 2.5, 2.6 times. So, and they are probably now targeting 500 million metric tons in the next 4 or 5 years. So that to me looks a more long-term fundamental play. All other stocks right now on valuation-wise, I don't know what to really say. Can't really have the courage to really buy, at these prices.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, Gurmeet, the second wave is upon us here and across the globe. The risk off is quite clearly because the cases are higher than anyone was prepared for. So are we going to yet again see a preference for pharma companies? Anything that you would recommend?
I agree, Lata, and see how quickly the narrative changes, from inflation, high growth to now, renewed fears of lockdown. That's markets for us. Pharma in particular, I think, yes, I think we've seen good rotation. If you see Nifty Pharma Index YTD, it's actually 8% down. And you have stocks like Divi's Labs from 3,900 to 3,400 levels. Across the space, IPCA is down 15 odd percent. So you're getting, there's been time and price correction. So continue to like Divi's. I think this generic and custom synthesis mix of 60-40 is doing well. They're adding few molecules in their generic API portfolio. They're working on contrast media APIs as well. The nutraceutical segment is now almost 1,500 crores revenue. 9-month EBITDA margin I was seeing is actually jumped to 41%. And that's why you get it at 15, 16 times sales. So that's one. I like Newland Labs. We've discussed that in the small cap pharma space. Also, I like Cipla. So in general, I think pharma looks good. And plus, you will get earning support. It's very important at these valuations that you get into something which has both valuation and earning support.
Okay, the other big theme that you've been playing lately, Gurmeet, is this whole rural theme. So you like names like Escorts, but you're also looking at some of these names in the gas space, like a Gujarat Gas. Is there still more to go, and do you expect earnings appreciation as well?
Absolutely. I'm very gung-ho on gas. Gujarat Gas, despite this run-up of almost 100%, it's still at what, 22 times FY23 EPS. I think their volume growth, despite the COVID stress, has been almost like 6-7% quarter on quarter. I was seeing last 5 years, the volume growth is more than 11%. GST, gas getting included in GST could be a very, very big trigger with, because their large base is Morbi and industrial PNG customers, and they'll be able to get, input credit on this gas feedstock prices. So I think structural play, plus you penetrate your existing GAs, continue to add more GAs. So very, very structural play. Escorts, I continue to like. I think tractor and farm equipment, I think you probably can see next 2 years, 15% plus volume growth.
Okay, just coming back to you and invite you, Gurmeet, to listen into an important guest whom we have invited. JK Cement management is with us. They have forayed into a new business, the wood finish segment, with the launch of JK Wood Amore. Niranjan Mishra, business head for white cement at JK Cement, joins us to tell us about this new launch. Mr. Mishra, good morning. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Just tell us, what exactly is JKC Wood Amore? Some kind of a wood finish is what we understand. What is the plan for entering this, and how will you package it along with your cement?
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me on the show. JK Wood Amore is a range of premium Italian wood finishes. We are entering into the wood paints category as well because we found that this category holds a lot of promise in the times ahead. And the premium wood paint segments like the PU, water-based and polyester are amongst the fastest growing category with a growth rate of almost about 30% CAGR. And we intend to have our presence in this premium segment, the category. If I talk about the wood paints market, it's about close to about 2,800 crores. And the size of our target market is about 1,100 crores. So it does actually present a very attractive opportunity for the company to move ahead in a new category. The non-premium products like the polish, the varnish, all those are kind of, on the wane as far as the usage from the customers is concerned. We have collaborated with one of the world's leaders in this space, Nuvocevam of Italy. And currently we have launched the PU, the polyurethane range of finishes in over about 2,000 colors.
Okay, Mr. Mishra,
We will further diversify.
Mr. Mishra, 1 minute,
Yeah.
1 minute. Let me interrupt you here. What is your strength in distributing this? Is it that those who come for your JK Cement distributors and shops will be the same network that you will leverage on? See, Grasim has chosen to go in for paints, which seems to be a little more related. Wood finish is a little removed.
Yeah, not really that remote, because if you, if I look at where my product is being sold, if I see my product is being sold essentially at the paint shops, my Wallmax, that is the wall, all the skim coats are getting sold at the paint shop itself.
Okay.
And the customer who comes to the paint shops essentially comes with a view to beautify his home, right? So he just does not do just the walls. He looks at his furniture. He looks at the other woods as well. So this category is kind of related in a sense, because if I talk about the paints business as such, paint is already there. I mean, I'm present in a paint shop. And as per the surveys that we conducted, there are about, I think, 30-35% of our universe actually sells wood paints as well. So there is a bit of synergy as far as wood paints and wall finishes are concerned. So I sell my Wallmax, that is the wall putty, then, and of course all the variants of my skim coat skimming products. So wood paints is also one of them. And this is a very niche category where you have the market is actually growing. The traditional methods of finishing your furniture, the traditional methods of giving a shine to your furniture and beautify your home are actually giving way to the new ones.
Okay, so you did mention that there is an 1,100 to 1,200 crore opportunity for you in this wood finishes space. What does that mean in terms of capacity? I mean, would you be pumping in some fresh money to raise your capacity? And if yes, where would those funds come from?
We are currently, we have entered into a technical collaboration with the Nuvocevam. So they are right now, the product is being manufactured in Italy and we're getting it to India. So as far as domestic manufacturing is concerned, it is still a distance away.
Okay. How much would you think it'll, in terms of revenues or in terms of your own cost be in the first year in FY22?
In FY22, we should end up at a healthy, I think around 18 to 20% of EBITDA.
Okay, of EBITDA.
And yes.
Oh, okay. 18 to 20% of EBITDA could be contributed by the wood finish business.
Wood finish category itself, as such, would be 18 to 20% of EBITDA margin. If I talk about, if I compare it with my entire product portfolio, it would be much lesser. Much lesser.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
If I look at the...
Okay, so you're saying the EBITDA margin for this product will be 20%, is it?
Yes. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, that's
No, what I was trying to figure out is that, your revenues, say FY20 revenues were about 5,800 crore. That's the last number I have, FY20. Well, so now for FY22, this will be, I mean, is it a reasonable proportion? Would it be 5%, 10% of your total revenues?
It would be about close to about I think 4 to 5%, but difficult to put a number to it right now because we've just
started. So it'll be something like a 500 crore business for you.
we are looking at a 500 crore business. That's
Okay.
right.
All right, fine. Since it's going to be 4 or 5%, you must let me ask you more about your other 95% of the business. Can you tell us, how businesses, what has been the Q3 quantity increase over Q4 over Q3? As well, have you been able to push any price hikes?
Yes. If I talk about JK White Cement, we are a pan-India brand. We today are a market leader in our core products of JK White Cement, that is the White Max and the Wall Max, the skimming products. We've got a pretty good response from the market, and we have actually added a lot of new products into the category. We've added new variants, and in fact, we are looking at some more variants which should be coming our way in the next couple of months. So we have been able to address quite a few need gaps, because earlier it was only a market for skimming products that, before paint, you just need to have, ready your walls with wall putty so that, the paint would give a better finish. But as we moved along, we realized that it is just not only the wall putty. You need to have long-lasting products. You need to have some value-added products in this space as well. So that's what we have added, and then the new slew of new products that you see over the last maybe about a year or so, we've been able to get out with some new products.
All right.
Last year also, because of the kind of the response that we got, we augmented our putty capacity in Katni by about 3 lakh metric tons.
Okay.
Because we found that in order to be prepared for the market of 22 and beyond, you needed to have some capacity. So we have done that.
And what is the utilization now?
Utilization, if I talk about, we just commissioned the capacity about 3 months back, and we should be at around 85% capacity utilization as of now on the installed capacity, which anyways is going to go up because we are adding some new products to our kitty. Hopefully by March end or maybe April mid, you should see some new products coming your way.
Oh, right.
And with the wood Amore, obviously we will be improving our success rate as well.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Niranjan Mishra, for joining us with both your new product and the performance of the cement sector as well.
Thank you.
Well, let's quickly run you through the past financials of JK Cement. We'll start with the revenue. You will get the 5-year bar chart, and as you can see, steady as it goes, and you'll have the EBITDA and profit after tax bar charts as well running up for you. Okay, that's a smart jump in EBITDA in FY20. And even the 9-month Q3 performance was very strong. Gurmeet, any thoughts? JK and other cement companies?
Yes, I think cement, being constructive on cement, JK has done well. But at these prices, probably you probably will prefer more, commodity plays like Tata Steel and others, considering the valuation. And I think Pidilite to me looks well placed to capture this entire housing, improvement in housing construction activity. You need a more diversified portfolio to play this. So you have sealants, you have adhesives, which is 80%, which they are bellwether, they are leaders. And on construction chemicals, hobby colors, polymers, they are doing a fantastic job. In fact, now it's almost 20% to their top line sales. And they have the ability to raise prices in both favorable and unfavorable input, raw material. So if you see the VAM spot prices, they have been fluctuating a little bit from $1,200 to $1,300. And Pidilite has shown pricing power. So I will go with Pidilite to play this at a safer level and at a broader level.
Okay. All right, Gurmeet, stay on. We have to take a quick break and come back with our technical experts, Sudarshan and Srikanth Chauhan.